today I have some presentations to do with actually because it's a starting of the course and today first class of the course. I need to explain you what are the uh, different things that we are going to have as part of the course. What are the different projects? What is the syllabus? I need to explain you. You need to get the clear picture of what we are doing as part of this course and what are the prerequisites that is required as part of this course. Just for your information so that it will be very clear for you moving further actually. So I need to explain that. It's my duty. So yeah, that's a thing. Let me go with that actually today, okay, as an introduction session. Okay, so before moving that, let me introduce myself. Okay, I am Shiva. So I have overall 8+ years of experience. Okay, I am working IT professional actually. So I work with different technologies. Okay, so AWS, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, Python, scripting, Java. Initially, I've started as a developer with Java, Spring Boot, and later microservices. And I moved towards the DevOps field, and I'm working with that as of now. Okay, I work with DevOps technologies, tools, and technologies. Not only which I've mentioned here, I also work with monitoring, like tools called Prometheus, Grafana, and Alert Manager, and Elasticsearch. Okay, so all these things, different tools which I'm working with actually. Okay, so I hold multiple certifications. AWS Developer Associate and Certified Kubernetes Administrator and Terraform Associate certifications, which I have hold as part of my bucket. Okay, so this is a introduction about me. Okay, so okay, so let's move further. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask. If not, we'll be moving further actually. Okay, so let's move further. Okay, this course is all about the 3 important tools that every developer, every DevOps engineer, every SRE people, everyone in nowadays in recent times is required to learn actually. Okay, that is Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes. Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes. This course is all entirely about that. Okay, so as a prerequisite, only the prerequisite that is needed as part of this course is the AWS account. Only the AWS account is the prerequisite that is needed for you. Okay, that is also I am going to share you how to create an AWS account from scratch. Okay, so as this course is starting from very scratch, okay, so you will be understanding by looking at the syllabus in a few minutes from where we are starting this course and where we are ending this course, in what place we are ending this course. You'll be getting that info, right? So we are starting this course from very scratch and we are going to end this course at very advanced level actually, and the course duration is going to be a 45 to 50 days. Okay, and minimum laptop requirement should be 4 GB of RAM should be there, okay, for your machine. Okay, that should be the minimum laptop requirement because you need to uh, do the labs, right? So that's the thing. Who can join this course? Actually, the freshers, because as we are starting the course from very scratch level, right? So freshers can join this course. Okay, so experienced people, whoever the developers, testers, DevOps people, Linux admins, DB admins, and non-IT students, or any graduates can join this course because we are starting this course from very scratch and finishing this course at very advanced level. Okay, and it's a interview ready course. Okay, also, and it's very good course we'll be seeing as part of the syllabus and the projects presentation also. Okay, now benefits of joining this course, what are the different benefits that you are going to get? Okay, doubt clearing sessions, fully documented notes, full hands-on sessions. Okay, we are going to see 6 different projects as part of this course. I have projects presentation. I'm going to show you in some point of time today itself. Okay, so interview questions you are going to get. What are the different interview questions which will be asked as part of this 3 tools you are going to get? Actually, we will be starting this course at very basic level and will be completed this course at very advanced level Okay, so you will be seeing that as part of the course content. Okay, now daily timings would be 1 hour class, and please remember your sessions are going to be shifted from 10:30 to 9:30 a.m. morning daily. Okay, after me mentioning that timings, your sessions are going to be shifted to 9:30 a.m. morning. Your session timings will be 9:30 a.m. morning to 10:30 a.m. morning. Please remember, these are your timings, actual timings. Okay, but now your sessions are got started at 10:30, but yeah, in the future, after 1 or after 5 to 7 days or 8 days, 5 to 8 days, your session will be shifted to 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Actually, this is your actual timings. Okay, the sessions will be there from Monday to Friday. There is no sessions on the weekends. Okay, please remember that there will not be any sessions on the weekends. Okay, now we are going towards the course content just in a few minutes actually. Now, if you have any non-technical questions related to anything, access permissions or anything, you need to contact this mobile numbers as part of this. Actually, these are the mobile numbers, few mobile numbers, please note them. And you can also send an email to this mail ID so that they will be able to respond you actually very quickly. So this is the contact information. All the technical questions you can ask me. We are going to create a group. Okay, we are going to create a group. Okay, how I am going to support you in case if you have any problems as part of practicing. When you are practicing, actually we are going to create a group. Let me check. Actually, generally I create a Telegram group, but I want to create a Slack group, Slack channel for this actually. But yeah, let me check whether the Slack channel will allow you people, what's the maximum number of people that can be allowed as part of the Slack channel, so I can add you people to the Slack so that we can communicate as part of the Slack channel itself. Okay, so we are going to create a group, and I will, whatever the questions you have as part of your, when you are practicing, you can post that questions as part of the group so that we will be able to solve that questions. Okay, we will be able to solve that. If possible, we can able to connect and also solve the problems. Okay, so that's how I am going to support you. Okay, whenever you have any problems, when you are going to, when you will be practicing actually, right? So that's all the things about the course things. And from this document you need to understand that only prerequisite that you need to have is the AWS account. Anyway, you are going to have your laptops, because yeah, that's everyone will be having, right? So only prerequisites will be the AWS account. That is also how to create an AWS account. I am going to show you very clearly in the future classes. Okay, so that's the thing. If you have any questions, you can ask in this place. Any questions, please?
So the project you will be doing at the end of the course,
No,
or
no,
like
no, no.
after taking some topics, you'll be doing in the mid of the course?
Yes, it will be like that. After taking some topics, projects will be coming. It's not all the course content at once, all the projects at once. It will not be helpful for you because you might be forgetting the concepts which you have learned. Some concepts and based on that project, some concepts based on the project, something like that we are going to do. It's not all the things at once, all the things at once. Okay, so it's in the middle of the course.
Okay, middle. Okay.
Yeah.
Like after 20 days, we can expect a project.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let me help you with the syllabus. Okay, anyone have any questions?
This is Jagdish. I'm from completely non-IT background, so I'm able to enjoy this course.
Yes, actually, yes, you are able to, because yeah, when you are, see, even me, like, even though me saying, you will be experiencing that whether you will be able to join or not in these demo sessions. Okay, because you will be understanding where our course is going to be start, how clarity you are going to get actually, so that you can decide uh, uh, whether you can get or not. Because definitely I can say you can get, because we'll be starting the course from very scratch. Okay, so we are going to start the course from what is
Scratch.
Docker. Okay, what is DevOps? Okay, something like that. So let me refresh. It is not being coming. Hmm. Mhm. Yeah, this is the course content. This is a course content that we have. Actually, we have duration of 45 days. Okay, so you can see that Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes. So you can experience this from where we are starting this course. Actually, we are starting the course from SDLC. What is software development lifecycle? Okay, even though everyone knows, let me explain that. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, what is DevOps? where where is DevOps position in SDLC? Where does DevOps position fits in SDLC? Actually, you can see that here we are going to see that importance of DevOps and in software release process. What is the first importance of DevOps? Why we need DevOps? Okay, so what is physical servers and what is virtualization? What are virtual servers and what is cloud? So we are not directly jumping into the Docker. First, you need to understand why the Docker has come. Okay, so for that, we will be having this physical servers, virtualization, virtual servers, and the cloud. And we will be seeing Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes position in SDLC, where this Jenkins, Docker, where these three tools fits in SDLC process. We are going to see that as part of this. Okay, we are going to compare our unknown things here. Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes that are unknown to us, right? So we are going to compare unknown things to the known things like SDLC. Okay, I'm going to explain SDLC and I'm going to compare both of them so that you'll be getting the clear picture where is what actually. Okay, something like that. Okay, importance of Docker, Jenkins, and Kubernetes in IT industry. Okay, so
So a bit
that's
slow.
bit slow. Okay, that's fine. Okay, okay, sure. Okay, so importance of Docker, Jenkins, and Kubernetes in IT industry. So how important the Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes in our IT industry nowadays? We will be able to see. We will be seeing as part of this. Why these are important? Okay, without Docker, what is there? What's the uh, why we need to go to Docker? Okay, we are going to take few examples and we are going to move towards the Docker, something like that. Okay, so once these introduction parts are completed, we will be stepping to the Docker actually. Okay, we will be seeing before Docker what is there, and after Docker, like what are the disadvantages of the setup before Docker and why we need to go to Docker. Okay, like that we are going to see actually. Okay, so next step will be the Docker. As part of this Docker, we will be seeing introduction of the Docker and the containers, installation of Docker and Docker Compose. Explain. See here, Docker Compose is a tool where you need to write a YAML files. It's not a programming, it's a declarative syntax. Okay, where you need to write. Okay, so you need to write a YAML files. I'm going to explain you how to write a YAML syntax. Okay, so that's what I have mentioned actually there. And before learning any tool, you need to understand the technical terms with that tool actually, whether what is Docker host, what is Docker daemon, what is Docker registry, what is Docker images. You need to understand what are the terms with that. What is Docker host actually? You need to understand that. We will be seeing that one as part of this actually. Okay, so the next part, once this has we have seen that, see, we will be going into Docker deep dive. Okay, commands and commands use, like what are the different commands that we have as part of the Docker, and explanation with their flags. So each and every flag I'm going to explain which we are using actually. Okay, working on Docker images. What are Docker images? We are going to work on that. Practice each and everything in this course. One more thing, one more point I forgot to mention. Each and everything in this course will be practical. First, we are going to see theoretic manner. Second thing, we are going to see diagrammatic manner. And the third thing, same concept. If you suppose let's think a concept is there, a concept. This a concept we are going to see in a theory manner. The same a concept we are going to see in a diagrammatic manner. The same a concept we are going to see in the practical manner, so that you will be getting a good experience of learning things actually. So that, yeah, that's how we are going to, that's why I mentioned practical examples and running applications and use cases. So understanding 3-tier architecture, everything will be the practical sessions actually. Okay, now creating custom Docker images. We have different keywords in order to create a custom Docker images. So we are using Docker files actually. Okay, so as part of the Docker files, you need to write multiple keywords, okay, that we are going to use actually. Okay, so how to create a custom Docker images? Suppose we have an application, okay, it's a Java application. How to convert the Java application to Docker image? We are going to see that. Okay, so using Docker file, these are custom Docker images. Okay, that's, we call it as custom Docker images. Okay, so once we have completed this custom Docker images, we are moving towards the Docker volumes and Docker networking. As part of these Docker volumes, we have two different types of Docker volumes: simple Docker volumes or bind mounts. The other name for simple Docker volumes are called bind mounts, and Docker volume containers is the other name, that other type of Docker volumes that we have actually. Okay, so once this volumes and networking also, we are going to see the type of network: bridge network, host network, null network, and overlay network. Okay, these are the different types of networking we are going to say as part of the Docker actually. Okay, advanced concepts, we are going to see multi-stage Docker builds. Okay, understanding layers in Docker images. Okay, so everything will be in practical actually, everything will be in practical. Okay, projects on Docker, we are going to see, the project presentation is there, I am going to show you. Okay, so debugging and troubleshooting of issues faced in Docker. Okay, what are the different problems we may face in Docker, how to solve them? Okay, so what's the reason that this problem has been occurred? So all these things we are going to see as part of this debugging and troubleshooting of issues faced in Docker. Okay, this is a Docker. Once we have completed Docker, we will be seeing what is the container orchestration technologies, what is the advantages of using container orchestration technologies. Okay, so like Kubernetes, first I am going to explain you a few points about the Docker Swarm, why the Docker Swarm is not so important like Kubernetes. Okay, these both Docker Swarm and Kubernetes are container orchestration technologies, but yeah, Docker Swarm is not that important. Kubernetes is important. Why the popularity is there for Kubernetes but not Docker Swarm? We are going to see that. Once we have completed that, we will be moving towards the Kubernetes. Okay, in the Kubernetes, we will be seeing what is K8s, why K8s, what is mean by K8s? It's shortcut for Kubernetes. What's the meaning of this? Is between K and S characters in the Kubernetes word, we have 8 different characters from U to E actually. So that's why we have something called K8s. Okay, so we are going to see creation of the clusters using 3 ways. One is Minikube way, Kuberium way, and the AWS EKS way. We are going to use these 3 ways and create a cluster. Okay, so that you will be understanding how to create a cluster in multiple ways. Most of the people in the most of the IT industry who are using cloud provider EKS cluster, either EKS or AKS or GKE. EKS means in the AWS, AKS means in the Azure. Okay, GKE means in the Google Cloud. Okay, these are the cloud provider EKS Kubernetes clusters. People uses this actually. Okay, so we are going to see that. Okay, so here also we are going to see cluster architecture, different components that are present in the cluster architecture, and explanation of technical terms in the Kubernetes, like what are nodes, what are pods, and all these things we are going to see as part of this Kubernetes actually. Okay, Kubernetes workloads and resources. There are different Kubernetes workloads: stateful set. Okay, so init containers, pods, containers, replica set, deployments, daemon set, job, cron job, all these things we are going to see in a practical manner. Okay, just whatever I am talking enough, everything in a practical manner. Okay, so all the in the entire course. Okay, explanation of multi-container pods. Okay, imperative and declarative commands of Kubernetes. Imperative commands is very useful for you in certification, and declarative is the most used in the industry actually, because yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so like practical examples, all these things. Okay, Kubernetes services and load balancing, understanding cluster IP, node port, load balancer, external name, headless service, all these things we are going to see. Okay, so understanding multi-port services, everything in a practical manner, understanding DNS and the service endpoints. See, if you feel this is much technical enough, do not worry, because I need to explain the syllabus so that I am explaining now. Okay, it will be very clear with the help of diagrams and the practical and the theory in our course. Actually, it will be very clear for you. Do not worry about this. Okay, so just listen. These are the different things that are there as part of the course. As for the Kubernetes storage, we will be having the persistent volumes and persistent volume claims, dynamic volumes and static volume provisioning, storage classes, everything in a practical manner. Okay, so configuring Kubernetes workloads, we are going to have config map, secrets and sealed secrets, resource requests and limits. Okay, resource quota, limit ranges, quality of service classes, understanding different types of deployments and significance. Okay, horizontal pod autoscaler. See, this looks, it's very interesting. Horizontal pod autoscaler, like based on the amount of traffic that is being received. Suppose there is a sale in your website, so your application should be capable enough of handling that sale traffic, right? So many people will be accessing the website, right? So your application should not be go down if the so many people will be accessing. So automatically our application should be scaled automatically. So how you can perform that scaling using horizontal pod autoscaler. Okay, that's what we are going to see as part of this. You can see that here. Okay, configuring pods with the policies, image pull policy. Okay, commands and arguments, namespaces, readiness probe, liveness probe, and startup probes, and with the practical examples. Okay, these are after this configuration and workloads, we are going to do the project after this. But yeah, the projects will be coming in the middle. Okay, scheduling, also as part of the scheduling, we will be having different types of scheduling algorithms, taints and tolerations, node name, node affinity, pod anti-affinity. In the taints and tolerations, we have different types of taint effects. Okay, no schedule, prefer no schedule. Okay, no execute. These are the three different taint effects that we are going to have. Okay, all these things we are going to see very clearly. See, if you are feeling much technical, again I am saying, do not worry, we are going to see very clearly as part of the course. Okay, so because I need to explain the syllabus, I am explaining all these things. Okay, that's fine. Okay, understanding service accounts, understanding secret, this is comes under security. You can see that it comes under security. So as part of this, we are going to see service accounts. Okay, so roles, role bindings, cluster role binding, RBAC, RBAC, we call it as role based access control. That means based, if you are a developer, you should not have entire cluster access. If you are administrator, you should have entire cluster access based on your role, how to give you a permission. Okay, that is role based access control. We are going to see RBAC, we call it. This is very important. Okay, what are static pods? Practical examples, everything in a practical manner. After the security, we are going to do a project of monitoring. Okay, that means Prometheus and Grafana. So we are going to do as part of the security. After the security, once the security project got completed, we will be moving towards the networking. In this networking, we are going to see host based routing, path based routing, ingress controllers, network policies. We are going to see two different types of ingress controllers, Nginx ingress controller and the Kong ingress controllers. Actually, how they perform the path based routing, what is path based routing, what is host based routing, also we are going to see in the future. Okay, so all these things we are going to see as part of the networking. Monitoring and troubleshooting. As part of this monitoring and troubleshooting, we are going to check how to check the logs, how to monitor your applications, different issues that may occur in the Kubernetes cluster. You should understand what are the different issues that may occur as part of the Kubernetes cluster, how to solve them, what are the reasons of that issues actually occurrence, what are the reasons of that issue occurrence. Actually, we are going to see all these things. Okay, visiting logs and describing the application to debug them, and understanding the problems and their significance, monitoring cluster with Kubernetes dashboard. We are going to integrate our Kubernetes cluster with the Kubernetes dashboard. Kubernetes dashboard is kind of a visualization application where you can visualize your Kubernetes cluster. Actually, we are going to see as part of this tools. And as part of the other tools, we are going to have the Helm charts. We are going to see different concepts of Helm, commands, okay, Helm templates, named templates, and functions, conditions, loops. Okay, so Helm folder structure. Okay, and the project on Helm charts. Actually, different things we are going to see. And what are the different projects? And also I have not mentioned here, we are also going to see a tool called Argo CD. A tool called Argo CD. Argo CD is a tool Okay, so with which we can perform continuous deployment, okay, to your Kubernetes cluster. It's a GitOps way of deploying applications to the Kubernetes cluster. Okay, we are going to see, do not worry as of now. Okay, so Argo CD also we are going to see, do not worry. Jenkins, once this Kubernetes got completed, we are moving towards the Jenkins. As part of the Jenkins, we are going to see introduction to continuous integration and continuous deployment, introduction to Jenkins installation, creating an explanation of master slave architecture of Jenkins app, explanation of technical terms as part of the Jenkins actually. So you need to understand, as I've mentioned already, each and every, before going to each and every tool and technology, you need to understand the technical terms with that tool and technology, so that you will be able to understand that very clearly. Okay, so Jenkins deep dive, creating a freestyle project, pipeline project, and working with pipeline projects, multi-branch pipeline project, exploring various options that we have as part of the creating pipelines. Actually, we have multiple parameters that you need to configure. So all these things we are going to see actually. Okay, Jenkins integration, we are going to integrate Jenkins with GitHub. We are going to integrate Jenkins with SonarQube. We are going to integrate Jenkins with Docker Hub. We are going to integrate Jenkins with Kiwi. We are going to integrate Jenkins with Kubernetes. We are also going to integrate Jenkins with S3 storage, simple storage service, which we have as part of our AWS account. Okay, all these things, all these integrations we are going to do actually. Jenkins configuration, we are going to configure Jenkins with credentials, custom environment variables, Jenkins pipeline with parameters, upstream and downstream projects. Okay, configuring predefined environment variables with Jenkins pipeline, role user and role management in Jenkins, using plugins with Jenkins like Blue Ocean. Okay, we are going to use something called Blue Ocean and parameterized trigger plugin, something like we have multiple plugins, Sonar Scanner, all these things we are going to see, exploring Jenkins stash and working with it. Okay, all these things we are going to see as part of this Jenkins actually. Okay, configuration of Jenkins, Jenkins troubleshooting and backup, how to perform troubleshooting issues faced and possible problems in Jenkins actually, backup and restore required things from Jenkins machine. It's very important when we deal with Jenkins actually, backing up the Jenkins jobs as well as restoring the Jenkins jobs. It's very important. And the project on the combination of Jenkins, Java, Maven, SonarQube, Docker, Trivi, and Kubernetes, all these things we are going to automate with the Jenkins pipeline and deploy our application modified, which is modified by the developer to the Kubernetes cluster without any manual interaction. Okay, you are going to see as part of the project's presentation. Okay, this is going to be a full course content that we are going to see as part of this actually. Okay, so that's a thing. Okay, so any questions anyone has before moving to the project's presentation? Any questions, please? Is that fine? Is that clear? Yep.
So you said like the Docker, like we'll be converting Java program to a Docker. So this Docker, Jenkins, and Kubernetes used only for Java?
No. It's not only for Java. Just as an example, I have told you, we are going to convert a Java application to a Docker image. It's not only for Java actually. Okay, so we can use this Docker, Kubernetes for different programming languages. Okay, it's not only for Java.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anyone have any questions, please? Okay, if you do not have any questions, let me click on this actually. Let's just go to the projects presentation. Okay, the first project we are going to see is with the Docker. Whatever the concepts we have learned as part of the Docker, whether it is a Docker file, Docker volumes, Docker compose, Docker networking, container communication, all the concepts will be included as part of this project. Actually, everything which you are seeing in as part of this diagram will be automated with the Docker compose. Okay, everything which you are seeing as part of this diagram will be automated with the help of Docker compose. You need to understand that. Okay, so here here these are two different containers we are going to have. What are containers we are going to see, but yeah, here student store application and the MongoDB, and what this student store application and MongoDB will be communicating with each other on the port number 27017, and we are going to send the API request to the student store application from the Postman. We are going to use a tool called Postman, and we are going to use a tool called Mongo Compass, and we are going to send the Mongo Compass request to this MongoDB container to check whether the data stored by the student store application is been there or not. So all these things we are going to see. Actually, the student store application container will be created from the student store application image from the Docker file automatically. When we run this Docker compose file, everything is automated. So here, what are the different things that are automated? Creation of containers, creation of Docker image, okay, creating custom network, creation of the volumes, okay. So creation of network I have told you, right? So all the container communication will be everything will be automated with this single Docker compose file, except one thing, that is creating a username password as part of this MongoDB. That's you need to do that. That's the thing. We are going to see how to do that also, but yeah, that only one thing is manual. Everything which you are seeing as part of this thing is automated with the Docker compose. Okay, so that's the first project that we are going to see as part of this course. And the second project that we are going to see as part of this course is with the Kubernetes. Okay, after configuration, workloads, services, and the storage, we are going to see this project. Okay, we will be deploying two-tier application, that is this one as a deployment, as well as the other MongoDB as a deployment. See, do not worry if I am speaking much technical, it will be very clear as for you as part of the course actually. So this is the architecture diagram as part of the course which we are going to have actually. Okay, so we are going to use the different things that we have learned in Kubernetes. It might be the deployments, replica sets, pods, okay, services, jobs, cron jobs, storage classes, persistent volume claims, horizontal power scaler, okay, health checks, okay, so say secrets, config map, limits and resources and liquid resource requests and limits, namespaces, resource quota, all these things which we are going to use as part of this project number 2 and create a project. So we are going to first learn this concept individually. What is namespace? Okay, how to create a namespace, like that we are going to learn, and combinedly we are going to do a project, so that you will be getting the clear picture how to do a project combinedly, how the concepts are combined together as and created as project. You will be getting that experience. So this is going to be our project number 2. Okay, now the next project is, this is going to be our project number 3. We are going to purchase a domain. As per domain means you will be entering, right, www.youtube.com. that's a domain. We are going to purchase a domain called, I am going to purchase actually, okay, it does not mean you also, but yeah, I'm going to purchase a domain, a single domain for me to show you as part of the class. As part of the GoDaddy, I am going to integrate my website to my Ingress controller. The difference between the first project and the second project and third project is the networking as well as security. As part of this third project, we are going to have role binding, cluster role binding, and network ingress controllers. We are going to use Nginx ingress controller as well as Kong ingress controller to do this project, that is with the ingress controllers. You can see that one as part of this actually. Okay, so we are going to use the AWS service called Route 53. Before using AWS services, I am going to explain what that service does. Okay, so Route 53 is for the DNS resolution. I'm going to explain what is DNS resolution, all the things, and then we are going to use that service as part of this actually project number 3. Okay, the difference between project number 2 and the project number 3 is the networking as well as security that are included in the project number 3 but not in the project number 2. Okay, so after doing this project number 3, you will be getting an experience like what happened if you, after entering www.youtube.com, what is happening internally. You will be getting such experience after doing this project number 3. Okay, so that's a project number 3 that we are going to do. All these things are real-time projects. Okay, how the projects look like in a real time. Okay, so just yeah, this is going to be our project number 4. We are going to use Argo CD, GitHub, Helm chat, and Kubernetes cluster in order to deploy our, this is automation Or here Argo CD will be doing automation whenever any change in any change that is happened to the GitHub repository. Automatically Argo CD will be detecting that change and deploying that change to the Kubernetes cluster. We are going to use the tools called KNS. It's a client side tool, and we are going to use the tool called Kubernetes dashboard. It's the server side tool to view our Kubernetes cluster. You can see that here as part of the diagrams actually. Okay, this is going to be our project number 4. It looks simple, but yeah, it's very important projects. It's a real-time projects that I'm explaining actually. Okay, so just do remember that one. Okay, so as part of the diagram, it looks simple, but yeah, when I'm going to draw the diagram, when the classes are going on, it's like it's not like complex also, but yeah, you will be clearly getting the experience of this project actually, or something like this. The project number 4. Okay, now this is going to be our project number 5, EFK stack. Okay, so what is this EFK stack? Collection of logs from your Kubernetes cluster applications that are deployed to Kubernetes cluster, and fetching that logs and sending those logs to Elasticsearch. And from the Kibana, we are going to view the logs from which are stored as part of the Elasticsearch. Okay, these are the like see, what are logs actually? So logs are nothing but a statements which will indicate, which will help you with the information that your application is working properly or not. Okay, that are generated by your applications that are deployed in the Kubernetes cluster. You need to fetch the logs from the Kubernetes cluster and send it to Elasticsearch. And from the Kibana, we are going to see the logs by connecting to the Elasticsearch. Actually, you can see that here we are going to do very clearly. Fluent bit is a pod that will be fetching the logs and send it to Elasticsearch. And from the Kibana, we will be connecting to Elasticsearch and view the logs as part of the Kibana dashboard. You can see that this is going to be our project number 5. We are going to do actually. Now, project number 6 is going to be
the Elasticsearch and Kibana will be taken by you.
Yes, we are going to deploy Elasticsearch and Kibana as part of the EKS cluster. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so this is going to be project number 5, and the project number 6 is the monitoring of our Kubernetes cluster. Okay, we are going to install Prometheus as part of our Kubernetes cluster, and we are going to retrieve. We are going to use what is that? Service discovery as part of the Kubernetes, as part of the Prometheus config maps, and we are going to fetch the metrics from the Kubernetes cluster using service discovery, discover targets. This part service discovery, it's automatically discovering the targets and storing the metrics information as part of the service Prometheus server. And using Grafana, we are going to connect to this Prometheus server and view the metrics information as part of the Grafana. I'm going to explain the Grafana dashboard as part of the, as well as Prometheus dashboard, and how to connect this Prometheus server to the Kubernetes cluster and how to get the metrics. All these things I'm going to explain, and I am also going to explain how to get an alerts to your Slack channel or email or PagerDuty. We are going to take one of the example, either PagerDuty or either email or either Slack channel, to get the alerts whenever any application that is going to be down in the Kubernetes cluster that we have deployed. Automatically, you are going to get the notification in your Slack channel that this application is down. Just go and fix it. Okay, so that's how we will be set up. We will be doing the setup for our alerts using Alert Manager and Prometheus. And the Grafana is for visualization, for the visualization purpose actually. But Prometheus also has a visualization browser that is called Expression browser, we call it is, but that's not that interesting actually. You'll not be finding very good user experience there. That is why we use Grafana. And yeah, we will be having the Grafana connected to the Prometheus in order to fetch the metrics, and we'll be seeing it's very beautiful actually. So that's the Grafana which we are going to have. This is going to be our project number 6. Actually, we have 7 different projects. That's fine. Okay, now I've previously in the presentation I have mentioned 6, but yeah, we have 7 actually. So this is project number 7. As I've mentioned yet, that's fine. Okay, it's a project number 7 that we are going to have. Okay, so here entire automation of our microservices, deployment of our microservices to the Kubernetes cluster with the Jenkins pipeline. This is the, see here, here developer will be pushing his code to the GitHub. Once the developer has been pushing his code to the GitHub, the code is taken by the Jenkins automatically, and For that, how Jenkins takes the code automatically using webhooks. We are going to use a webhook in Jenkins and the GitHub to help the Jenkins to take the code automatically, and the Jenkins pipeline will be building the code, and create an artifact. What is an artifact and building the code, we are going to see actually. Do not worry as of now. Okay, so once the artifact has been built, and we will be executing the test cases as part of the next stage of the Jenkins pipeline, and we are going to integrate our project, that means our Spring Boot application or the Java application or whatever the application we are going to see, is to the Sonar Cube, and we can find their vulnerabilities, or any bugs are there with our application, any duplicate statements are there with our application as part of the Sonar Cube console, and it contains some quality gates. All these things will be there as part of the Sonar Cube. Okay, so we will be integrating our project with the Sonar Cube, and then after integrating our project with the Sonar Cube, we will be pushing artifacts to the S3 bucket. It's not a JFrog which I've mentioned here. We will be pushing our artifacts to the S3 bucket as part of the AWS. I'm going to help you with the information, what is the S3 and what is used for, and there we are going to use the S3. And once the artifacts are, what is the artifacts also, I'm going to explain. Okay, so after pushing the artifacts to the S3 bucket, automatically a next stage in the Jenkins pipeline will be Docker image creation. Automatically a Docker image will be created, and the Docker image creation, after the Docker image creation, scanning of the Docker image will be happen using Trivy, and after the scanning of the Docker image, we will be pushing the Docker image to Docker Hub and Docker Hub repository, and we are going to perform the cleanup activities. Once the cleanup activities has been performed, it will trigger downstream project. We are going to have the upstream and downstream project. Upstream projects will be for our actual microservices, and downstream projects of the pipelines will be for updating the Docker image version as part of the GitHub repository. Downstream project will be updating the version as part of the GitHub repository. Once the GitHub repository has been updated by the downstream project in the Jenkins, our Argo CD will be automatically triggered, and Argo CD performs the automatically perform the deployment with the updated version of our application to the Kubernetes cluster, and everything here is automated. Once the developer pushed his code to the GitHub repository, that's it. Until the deployment of our application to the Kubernetes cluster, everything is automated with the Jenkins pipeline without any manual step we are going to do actually. Okay, so that's how the important of this project is. A very important project that's we are going to do. It's very interesting, and if you say this project in any of your interview, that will be very, very nice actually. So all these steps we are going to do, and we are going to deploy our application to the Kubernetes cluster. See here, you need to set up this. That's it. Once you have did this setup, the developer will be pushing his code to the GitHub repository. That's it. Everything will be automated until the deployment of that application, updated application to the Kubernetes cluster. Okay, so this is how we are going to do. This is the setup we are going to do as part of this Jenkins project actually. Okay, so these are the 7 different projects that you are going to get as part of this course. Okay, this is the project's presentation. If you have any questions, you can ask any questions, please.
Yeah, Shiva, may I know difference between Jenkins and Maven?
See, Maven is a build tool. Okay, Maven is a build tool, and the Jenkins is to perform automation. Okay, Maven is to build the application. Okay, and the Jenkins is to perform automation. Maven is different and the Jenkins is different. Okay, whatever the manual steps we are going to do, Jenkins will be automating that manual steps. Okay, so Maven is something like converting your application into a artifact. It's building your application, convert your application into a artifact. It's one of the example. Okay, it's a build tool. Okay, if you do not use Jenkins, you need to do this building manually using Maven. Okay, so if you use this Jenkins pipeline, that will be automated by the Jenkins itself. Okay, so that's the thing.
So where this topic?
Can you repeat that?
Agile method, logic, and then graph OL.
No, your voice has broken. Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, agile method, graph logic,
No, I did not get you. What is the agile method and what you say?
Logic, LOGIJ, and then the other one is graph OS.
LOGIJ, where I have mentioned that?
No, I'm just asking. These topics comes under this category, the Docker Kuber one.
No. We are not
No.
discussing all the agile methods or whatever you mentioned as part of this.
Okay, so Elasticsearch, Grafana covers in this
Yes.
topic, right? In this course.
Yes. Okay, you mean Loki? Yeah. It's LOKI. It's not logic, I think. I see.
Oh, okay.
It's something called Loki. LOKI. It is not covered
Yeah.
as part of this course. It will be. It will not be covered actually. We will be seeing Grafana. It's same thing. Monitoring only. Okay, so.
Same thing means? Same with
Monitoring. Monitoring. Okay, same with monitoring. Loki also does that, and the Grafana also does that. Okay, so.
Oh, okay.
See, if you see this course, we are handling with different aspects of our IT, of our enterprise applications. We are handling with Docker containers, we are handling with images, we are handling with security, we are handling networking, we are handling automation, we are handling monitoring, we are handling logging, different aspects of our enterprise applications we are going to handle as part of this course. That's what you need to remember. Okay, and please do remember your classes are going to be shifted to 9:30 a.m. Morning, not 10:30. I'll be saying when they are going to be shifted in the future. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask. Any questions?
Sorry to bring this up, like just you're taking very fast when you're explaining the concept. That's it. But your explanation is very nice. Everything is good except the fastness.
Okay. I'm really apology for that, because yeah, I'll be rectifying that in the future. Okay, so in the
Because
future means from tomorrow. Okay, so
everything is perfect only because first time we are learning this, like it takes some time to grasp things, right? So if you go a bit slow, it will be easy for us to understand the class itself instead of repeating your videos for a number of times.
Sure. Definitely. I'll be going slow only, no problem for me. Okay, so from tomorrow you can observe that. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, please go ahead and register for the course. I'll be saying this for entire demo sessions. Okay, so thanks for joining. I'll meet you in the next class, that is tomorrow on the same time, 10:30 a.m. morning. Okay, thank you. Bye.